Hello and welcome to Pleasure Talk Tuesday. My name is Celeste and I'm a holistic pleasure coach. I own One Thread Holistic Pleasure Coaching business. If you're interested in finding out what that's all about, I'm about to make a video pretty soon on why you should even seek holistic pleasure coaching. What does that even mean? If you want to know a little bit more, you can check out my website down below, onethreadcoaching.com. But here today, we're going to talk about pleasure. And building up on all the videos that we've had over the last couple of weeks. If you haven't seen them, I really urge you to check those out. Start with video 1 because they really do build upon each other. But just as a review, oh, by the way, I'm in a new environment. If it looks different from where I have been before, I'm actually at work right now. Today's a really rainy day in San Diego. Nobody knows how to drive in San Diego. If you live in San Diego, I feel you, I'm sorry. And so when it rains, it's impossible to drive here. So I'm at work, it's a little bit late, but I'm taking advantage of this as an opportunity to see you guys and be here for you guys and talk about pleasure. So anyway, let's recap a little bit about what we've been talking about. So we started off with the body. This is the first tool that we have to embrace and experience and receive greater opportunity for pleasure. The way that we have a relationship to our body, which we call sensual intimacy, that's a super important key to open the door to unlock all this pleasure in your life. This is the first tool. Then the next tool is your breath. And the breath has the ability to carve out space so that way you can bring in and receive pleasure. The third topic that we talked about that's important to your experience of pleasure and giving yourself permission to experience pleasure is our eroticism. And our eroticism it's not entirely having to do with sex, which is important, but it is our energy of intention, our soul's desire to create and come uniquely through us. And our responsibility is to be able to use our body, use our breath, use tools like meditation and breath work to come into a space of alignment so we can listen and hear the voice of this or our eroticism coming through, asking us to create. So what we're talking about this week is surrender. And we're talking about that idea because the erotic, this desire, this seed desire, the soul's longing to come alive and create through us, exists only in the state of flow. The state of flow exists when we are in alignment, and our alignment exists in the present moment. And we can't be present when our minds are going crazy. We can't be present when our minds are either in the past, harping on the past, or being anxious and fearful of the future. We can't be present when we are just so resistant or we have so much of an idea of the way we want things to be, an expectation, and we're resistant to having whatever it is that we desire to come in another way. So we can't be present and have these blockages mentally, emotionally, perceptively, physically. And that's where surrender comes in. So all of these things lead up, so your ability to be aware of your body and what you're sensing in your body, the ability to pause and be present through your breath, through those tools to be present and to listen to the call of your soul, your erotic energy. We can't get to those spaces unless we release, surrender, allow things to be as they are in that state of flow. And let me tell you from experience, things are so much better than what you expect when you allow flow to bring in your desire. So why should we not be scared of surrendering? Because I think a lot of people, myself included sometimes, especially before I've started working with that space of allowance, used to see surrendering as like losing control. And it's so the opposite. So once you get to the point in your life where you're listening to your body and you're realizing that you're holding on and you're resisting, and you hear your soul's call to create a book, to have the love that you want, to have the baby, to get the new job, to quit your current job, whatever it is, you're hearing that call. What you have to do at that point is you are choosing in that point, based on everything that you've experienced in your body, being in alignment, you are choosing to say, in this moment, I step into flow and I allow flow to take me the rest of the way. Because you've done so much work at this point, so much work to even listen to your erotic energy of intention, to even know at that point that if you just give an inch, and then maybe a few inches, and maybe a whole foot, if you just allow yourself to slowly surrender to the unexpected beauty that could be there for you, to usher in the real manifestation, the material aspects of your desire, that's beautiful. That's pleasure. That's surrender. And it's power. It's not weakness. It's power. Because you have done the work. You have allowed yourself to be with yourself, be with the divine when you're in alignment. And so you're choosing. You're saying, I choose myself. I choose my capital S self. I'm choosing to trust that I've put myself this far through my path, and then I've built my energy to match what it is that I'm calling in, that I want to create, that I long, that thing that I desire from my soul. I trust that the universe wants it just as badly for me and is bringing it in, is ushering it in. And you can't surrender when you're doing this. How are you supposed to welcome? How are you supposed to welcome in the real manifestation of what it is that you long for when you're resistant, when you're closed? Surrender is freedom. Surrender is openness. Surrender is flow. And surrender is power and strength. It does require you to be vulnerable. It's vulnerable to open up. So I do suggest a practice of heart opening asanas. Our asanas in yoga are also called postures. So opening up your chest, opening up the front line of your body to receive, opening up your throat to receive the voice that this new longing is ushering in for you. Open up your heart so that way you can truly experience and embrace what's coming for you. Opening up your lower chakras, your sexual space, so you can really begin to embrace the creation and further that along. Magnify the creation. So that vulnerability is also power, because you're really seeing yourself. When you're choosing to say, I've taken myself as far as I can go, and so I'm putting my faith and trust that the universe wants it just as badly for me, you're realizing that, yes, you are powerful, but it's also a co-creative process, and sometimes you need a little bit of help, and sometimes it's hard for us to say, well, shit, I need some help right now. But it's help from the same divine source that you're calling that help from. It's all one. It's one thread. And so being vulnerable is you seeing yourself, you being really honest with yourself, saying, I have done all that I can, and I'm still gonna work, and I'm still gonna meditate, and I'm still gonna connect with myself, because all of that is beautiful, and it's pleasurable, and it's moving you even further towards that which you're trying to call in. But you have to surrender your control of your expectations, of how it shouldn't or should be. Stop shitting all over yourself. And allow yourself to create in partnership with the universe, with God, with Allah, with Buddha, whatever you choose to call this consciousness of this omniscient energy. And so the more that you practice that, even in small ways, right? It doesn't have to be huge markers throughout your life that you surrender. We can surrender every day as a practice. I just brought up the idea of traffic. I could have very well been angry and said, oh my God, I hate this traffic. And my mind could have totally gone into a closed state of thinking where my perception is this tiny and I'm only seeing the problem in front of me. But I say, you know what? My expectation isn't the reality of what isn't the way I expected it. I wanted to go home a little early, but that's okay. I'm surrendering to the opportunities that are rising in this space. So you can choose. That's the power of choosing. You can choose to choose a closed-minded vision and just focus on the problem or the issue or whatever it is that is triggering you. Or you could breathe, you could feel in your body that you're tense, and choose to open up your perspective and say, what are the opportunities that are here? Because opportunity is everywhere. It's everywhere. That's the beauty of an open awareness. That's the beauty of your sensual relationship when it's telling you, hey girl, you're closed up. Let's open up. Let's surrender. I'm pausing right now because I'm feeling triggered by this traffic and I really want to be angry, but I'm going to choose to believe that in this moment there's an opportunity that's arising for me. And here I am, in my situation, in my example, here I am, feeling really inspired to do a little bit of work for One Thread and to create this video when if I had gone home, I probably would have been in my PJs and maybe put this off. And opportunity is everywhere. Just as equally, opportunities for pleasure are everywhere. I'm having a blast filming this, and I'm filming this at work. It's 7:30 in the evening, and I'm having so much fun right now. So opportunities to connect internally, to have joy and love and be present in this moment with yourself and with whomever else. All these opportunities for pleasure, they're bountiful, they're abundant, they're innumerous really. It's just our perspective and our ability to release that control and to surrender to the reality of what is. And the reality is that opportunity is everywhere. Your opportunity for joy is everywhere. Your opportunity for love is everywhere. Your opportunity for pleasure is everywhere. And if we don't surrender in these little itty bitty ways or even in the larger ways if life demands it from us, we miss out. So don't miss out on these opportunities. Don't allow yourself. Choose yourself. Surrendering is the ultimate form of self-love. One of the ultimate forms. There's a couple, but it's up there. You're giving yourself an opportunity to live in the moment more than you probably could have or would have. You're giving yourself the love and the support to step into something new and unexpected. And sometimes the unexpected could be scary. We fear the unexpected a lot. But when we start to trust, when we start to practice this surrender in a daily way, we start to trust that, hey, this surrender thing, maybe there's something to it. Maybe it's really not so bad. And maybe, just maybe, as Gabrielle Bernstein says, maybe the universe really does have my back. Maybe the point of this life is to connect even more deeply, just surrender more and more. They always say, I feel like this is akin to failing forward. We're also afraid to fail. Myself included, this is something I'm working through. But what if we say surrender forward? Surrendering, I can tell you in my experience in my life, I've never been led astray or been put in a bad place when I've surrendered to the reality of the situation of whatever's happening. Never. So I ask you to ask yourself, what is your relationship to surrender? Maybe journal, write about it, feel it in your body, what emotions come up for you. And if there's some more unsavory experiences with that word, triggering experiences, maybe ask yourself, well, why? And is that really serving me? Would it serve me in this or that situation to react and to cling or to clench instead of surrendering? And I'd really love for you guys to do some heart-opening exercises as part of your relationship to this art of allowance. As part of the art is the balance of the body, the mind, the emotions, your connection to the divine. It's a balance of all of those. So part of that practice is your physical self and preparing yourself for the actual mental, emotional choice to receive, to allow yourself to open up and release. I'll put some links down below on some heart-opening asanas, and if nothing else, Google heart-opening asanas. One big one that I really, really love, and if you've got lower back issues, be careful with this one. It's camel pose. So essentially you're on standing on your knees, and you reach back and place your hands either at your hips or down at your toes, and you gaze up. It's a beautiful, beautiful heart-opening and really intense heart-opening asana. I can't tell you the number of people that I've heard who have cried in camel pose. So just some suggestions, and if you have any questions or you want to dialogue about it, you can either email me down at the email below, or let's have a conversation in the comments below. Also, I have my Instagram and my Facebook linked there. Like I said before, you can visit my website, onethread.com, to see all my other offerings. And once again, thank you so much for coming by. I really hope you're enjoying these Pleasure Talk Tuesdays. I've been enjoying making them, and I'm really trying to get into more of a practice of making videos, and I'm excited about including a couple more beauty videos. I don't have a stitch of makeup on except for this. I should have prefaced this. This fluorescent lighting is not a good look, okay? So, sorry, I'm also, this is such an unprofessional video, oh my god, but I felt so inspired, I surrendered to the moment. But anyway, yeah, I want to do more beauty videos. Just some lipstick and some mascara, and I put the lipstick on for this video, okay? It's been one of those days. Anyway, yeah, so stay tuned. I'm really excited about my One Thread Beauty channel, and I'm really excited about the journey ahead for One Thread and my holistic pleasure coaching and teaching. So I hope you come along for the journey, and be blessed wherever you are.